What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's the 7th of September. We're taking a look here at Aerodrome Finance here this morning. It's been a while. Markets continue to head south. We're going to talk about some price levels below the market as support. We'll look at Bitcoin, and then we'll wrap this video up, guys, here. So, been a little while, but let's jump back into it here. Appreciate the subscribers and the members of the channel. Well, let's jump back here for just a moment. We have Aerodrome Finance, ticker symbol AERO USD. This will be daily chart, and the price data is from Coinbase. So you can see price respecting this overhead resistance line here I have on the chart. The last major reversal was the 26th of August, so that was a Monday. I remember that day, and then we've been basically heading down, basically steady to the downside here. We had if we zoom in here, we had a little price support show up right at, so we had two times here. So basically all these lines on the chart, right, all these dotted lines that run horizontal are price support, price resistance. We had some price support right here at our 61.10, just for about 2 days. We reversed through the 58.756, the 55.52 support for about 3 days, and so on. So we're starting to get a little far away from this resistance line. Do we get some kind of a rally back up? We'll see. Markets are beginning to get oversold. I don't think they're done. We had a pretty nasty day in the market on Friday, right into the Friday close. Theory is you'll get whichever way the market closes on a Friday, especially at an extreme, you can get a continuation into Monday. So if that takes place, that tells us that we're probably going to open up quite a bit lower Sunday night in the futures. And then maybe from there we rally, But anyways, so of course Aerodrome is oversold. Can it go lower? Of course it can. We're going to talk about some lower price targets. Well, we have two new lower price targets below the market here for Aero. We have one sitting right here at 43,633. That's this blue line on the chart, guys. So we could be seeing quite a bit lower here for Aero. This is supposed to say 0.43, but anyways, it's 43 cents, 633, carrying those digits over to the right. That would look like so the current price is 52, puts us down another, 16 or so percent to the downside. There was some pretty major support here for Aero around the 45, and that date was the 5th of August, a little over a month ago. So obviously taking us down to 43 would be an undercut of that low. There's been historically here for Aero, there's been pretty good support, within this area. We saw a pretty good V bottom here on the 4th and 5th of July. That's basically right at the 43 cent mark. And then we saw a pretty good support show up on the 5th of August. That was right around the 46 mark. So within this range, if we get down that far, we could see a nice bounce, some nice support show up. But just know it's possible that we could be in for a larger move south for Aero, 16% or so that's for starters. Let's take a zoom out here and get a wider look at this chart. So, overall, this thing has just been slow and steady to the downside. At some point, do we bounce, and do we break out above this trend line here, this overhead resistance line, I should say? Something like this. In the right market conditions, I don't see it happening at the moment. If things turn for the positive here in the markets, Bitcoin starts to rally, that is, Of course, I don't think Aero's going to, outpace and take off before Bitcoin does. It's possible, but right now things are continuing to go sideways in a correction mode. Are we in a complete crash? Not by any means. Doesn't mean that that won't, start to take place. Um, Anyways, we're just in a normal pullback correction mode. Uh, this will and has worn and will wear investors out. You can wear investors out in a couple different ways. Two of them are time. You can wear investors out by the price not doing much over a long period of time, being choppy. Shake investors out. You can also shake investors out by doing a large move to the downside. So you have this, and then you have this basically straight down waterfall move that will also shake investors out. And then, of course, you get a complete recovery. Anyways, 43,633 is that level. It's about 16% below the market. And that would obviously be taking out our most recent previous major low on the 5th of August. Below that, we have some more levels here. Obviously, we have a 35 cent. That's been there a while, but we have a new level, which is further below the market, down there at 31,235. 31,235. Now, we're at 52. That's a very large move to the downside, guys. It's possible. It could be in play. We just don't know how ugly the sell-off is going to get in the markets, and that is an area that could be in play. We'll know a little bit more if that's in play if we start to really get down here close to the 43,633. If we start to get down there and bounce for a day or two and then fade, there's a very high likelihood we're heading down here to that 31 cent level. But let's not ignore the 35 as well. That's just as important. But the new levels, 30, 31 to 35, could be in play. Again, there's no guarantees we'll even get down to 43. But if we do, and we bounce for a day or two, similar to what we did up here at the 55 as well as the 61, and the markets continue to fade to the downside, the same thing could happen down here, just at lower prices. So 31 to 35, not to scare anybody, but just be aware that those are there and could be in play. So from current prices at 52, that's going to put you down, put the Aerodrome Finance down 39, 40%. So you have your 16% move over here to 43, and then you're down to call it a 40% move down to 31. So, it is what it is. Don't want to ignore the possibilities here of lower prices. I personally, of course, not financial advice, guys, always cut my losses short. Right? So if I get into a position and it doesn't start to go in the direction I want, pretty quick, I'll get out with a small loss. If the market does continue to go back in the direction I need, I can always get back on board. What I don't want to do, and what I've done in the past from learning the hard way, the expensive way, is holding positions. Let's say you get into Aerodrome up here at $1, call it $1.06, right? Market starts to rally a little bit. You find it up here at 128, which is a resistance level. You don't take your profits for whatever reason. Maybe you don't. Maybe your system doesn't tell you to take profits yet. Market continues to fade. So here you find yourself back at your $1.05, $1.06 where you got in. Market continues to fade, continues to fade, continues to go lower. You're still holding on. You have that hopium. You find yourself way down here at 43 cents. I would rather cut my losses small, ignore this whole move lower. The price came all the way back up to, basically $1. If it starts to go back in the direction you would like, you can get back on board. What I don't want to do is hold a position for a huge loss that can really damage your account. That's the way I think. That's the way I trade. Works well for me. Anyways, got to do what works for you. And of course, guys, not financial advice. Saying that, a 16 to a 40% move could be possible. If you're holding a long position, are you willing to, take that cut in your account? It's something to consider. It really depends on what your goals, your objectives, what your thoughts are on this, etc. But that's something that I would be just aware of, that's possible. We've been hitting these levels perfectly. We've been bouncing for a day or two, and then the markets continue to fade. Again, we could bounce on Monday, we could bounce tomorrow, we could bounce today, and things could be off to the races. And if that's the case, that's great for the bulls. But those looking for a deal are definitely getting them. So that's what I see here for Aerodrome Finance is 43, 6, 33, 31, 235, 16 to 40% move. Let's not ignore 35 cents as well. And again, I mentioned we're pretty far away from, definitely oversold, but doesn't mean we won't go lower. We're pretty far away from our resistance line up in here. So maybe we get a bounce soon and come back and visit that again. Bitcoin. So Bitcoin found support just for a day or two here at 55,577. And then we broke through it on Friday. We are also below the 54,599. We're heading back up there today. Markets are up barely, but they are up. Next level of support down here at 50,011. Bitcoin still in a, choppy sideways, putting in lower lows, or excuse me, lower highs and lower lows, lower highs. So far yesterday was a higher low. Again, I think long term, this is quite bullish. I do think at some point here we get a massive break to the upside, but that might not come until we see a, nasty shakeout lower first. We'll see. We're heading into some shaky times here globally with the election, and we're in September as well. Guys, thanks for watching. If you are not yet a subscriber, go ahead and join us here on the channel. Appreciate it. Good luck out there. Let me know down in the comments. Memberships are available on the channel. They're like 99 or 97 cents a month. This just helps support the channel, and you also get early access to these videos. Appreciate you guys. Have a great day.